Bitcoin, the granddaddy of them all, the firstborn, the digital gold. The reason your uncle won't shut up about missing out in 2013, it was created by the mysterious
No.
a person or maybe a group or maybe just an AI testing human greed. Bitcoin launched in 2009 with a simple idea. What if money, but without banks? And thus, the blockchain was born, a decentralized public ledger where every transaction is recorded forever. Sounds great, right? No more shady banks controlling your money. Instead, you get anonymous whales, hackers, and billionaires playing 4D chess with your life savings. Progress, isn't it? At first, Bitcoin was pretty much worthless. Like, literally. In 2010, a guy named Laszlo Hanyecz bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Today, that's worth near $1 billion. That's either the most expensive dinner in history or the cheapest way to become a meme. Then came the Silk Road era, where Bitcoin became the preferred currency of, let's say, creative entrepreneurs who needed to buy unconventional products. Naturally, this caught the government's attention, and soon enough, Bitcoin was labeled as the money of criminals. Because, dollars have never been used for shady things. But as the years went by, Bitcoin grew up. It went from an underground experiment to a full-fledged asset class. Banks, institutions, and even some governments now treat it as a real thing. The same people who called it a scam in 2015 are now telling you it's digital gold. But let's talk about why Bitcoin is valuable. Unlike traditional money, there's a hard cap. 21 million BTC, and that's it. No money printer go brrr. Well, except for lost wallets. Some people have literally thrown away fortunes by forgetting their passwords or trashing old hard drives. Somewhere in a landfill, there's a guy's retirement plan rotting under a pile of McDonald's wrappers. And mining. Oh, mining. Once upon a time, you could mine Bitcoin on a laptop while watching cat videos. Now, you need an industrial warehouse, a small country's worth of electricity, and an iron will to survive crypto winters. And for what? A few Satoshis, while your power bill gives you heart palpitations. Of course, Bitcoin isn't perfect. In fact, on a technological level, it's kind of a dinosaur. It has slow transaction speeds, high fees during peak times, and lacks the fancy smart contracts that newer blockchains offer. But none of that matters because Bitcoin is the brand. It's the Coca-Cola of crypto, the McDonald's, the iPhone. It's what everyone knows, trusts, and most importantly, pours their money into. That's why Bitcoin dominates the market. Right now, it holds almost 60% of the total crypto market cap, meaning that despite thousands of altcoins promising to be the next Bitcoin, investors still circle back to the original. And when Bitcoin moves, the entire market follows. If it pumps, suddenly your friend who doesn't trust crypto is asking how to buy. But despite everything, regulations, crashes, trade wars, Bitcoin refuses to die. Mainstream media has declared it dead more times than we can count, yet here we are. Still ticking, still volatile, still making people rich and poor and rich again. Now let's talk about charts, because staring at lines all day somehow helps people predict the future. If you've ever seen a crypto trader at 2 a.m., they're probably squinting at a Bitcoin chart, whispering, "Just one more pump, please." But unlike astrology, this science is based on real numbers, most of the time. The Fear and Greed Index, the crypto mood swing detector. This one is simple. The Fear and Greed Index measures how emotional traders are on a scale from 0 to 100. Extreme fear often signals a market bottom. This is when the smart money starts buying. When everyone is terrified and selling their Bitcoin at a discount, whales quietly accumulate. Then, as things stabilize, the index moves into neutral territory, where no one really knows what's happening. As Bitcoin starts climbing, people begin to feel safe again, and greed creeps in. At extreme greed levels, the real chaos begins. The hype is uncontrollable. Bitcoin hits all-time highs, and Twitter's full of laser eyes and never-selling memes. This is when dumb money piles in, convinced that prices will only go up. And then, just as everyone thinks they've made it, the market collapses. The cycle resets, portfolios get wrecked, and suddenly, those same people who were screaming to the moon are now rage quitting crypto forever. Until the next cycle, of course. Basically, if everyone on Twitter is panicking, it might be a good time to buy. If everyone is screaming to the moon, well, might be time to take some profits before reality kicks in. Every 4 years, Bitcoin goes through a halving event, a programmed event where the reward for mining new Bitcoin is cut in half. In simple terms, this means Bitcoin gets harder to produce over time, making it scarcer and, theoretically, more valuable. Historically, halvings have been the fuel behind every major Bitcoin rally. The pattern is almost too predictable. First, the halving happens. At first, nothing crazy occurs. Bitcoin moves sideways for a few months, and people start doubting whether it even matters. Then, slowly, demand starts outpacing supply. The price begins creeping up, and suddenly, institutional money starts flowing in. Bitcoin hits new highs, retail FOMO kicks in, and before you know it, Bitcoin is doubling every few months. This cycle has repeated after every single halving. In 2012, Bitcoin was $12. A year later, it was over $1,000. The 2016 halving saw Bitcoin jump from $650 to $20,000 the following year. The 2020 halving set the stage for Bitcoin to hit $69,000. The last halving was in 2024, and if history repeats, 2025 could be explosive. Or maybe this time, it really is different. But probably not. So, what's next for Bitcoin? Will it replace gold? Will governments embrace it? Will it finally stop crashing every time the Fed sneezes? Nobody knows, and that's kind of the fun part. Dear friends, as this is a pilot video, I encourage everyone to like, subscribe, and leave comments. It is very important for me to hear all the tips and comments, as my goal is to bring you the best content possible. I welcome any constructive criticism and discussion in the comments. All the best, and good luck.